Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's YunKs. Today, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at Memory of Felwinter on a Stormcaller Warlock. We're going to find out if it can be useful or not. So, if you didn't know already, Memory of Felwinter will give you an extra grenade and melee charge at the price of your super. You will no longer have a super if you are running this artifact, and I always recommend 100% discipline and 100% strength if you are running Felwinter, no matter the subclass. Now let's take a look at the Stormcaller subclass and figure out what's important here. So Electrostatic Mine is no longer needed because we don't have a Storm Trance. So you could either go with Arc Web or Perpetual Charge here. That's really up to you. Both of these can work very well with this build. Moving on to this column, we have Pulse Wave, Feedback, or Transcendence. You no longer need Transcendence because you don't have a Storm Trance once again, so you don't need Transcendence. So you could either go with Feedback or Pulse Wave here. What else do we have? Our Melee Thunderstrike. This is really up to you. This is personal preference. I prefer Amplitude for PvP, and I prefer Chain Lightning for PvE. And Rising Storm, you don't really need because it will charge you super. You don't have a super to charge, so you could probably pass on that one. Let's go to the Grenade here. And once again, this is personal preference. Just go with whatever suits your playstyle. Storm grenades are obviously very powerful grenades for groups of enemies that are bunched up. Arc bolts can work as well. I don't know how I feel about pulses, but really up to you guys for that one. So let's take a look at the exotic armor options here, see what is not needed, and let's see what can possibly work with this build with Memory of Felwinter on the Stormcaller. So Skull of Dire Ahamkars for Nova Bomb, we don't need that. Apotheosis Veils when you activate a super, we don't have a super to activate. Light Beyond Nemesis, we can do a little bit better than that. Obsidian Mines for Nova Bomb. The Ram is an option for the armor, so that works. That can be an option. We're going to move on to the Stag. Nah, we can do better. Astro Sight Verse is for the Voidwalker. Moving on to our chest, we have Heart of the Praxic Fire, which is for Radiance. Voidfang Vestments is an option because you do spawn with full grenade energy, every time you spawn. So it's not specific to Voidwalker with the Axiom Bolt, so that is an option right there. Voidfangs. Starfire Protocols for Sunsinger. Purifier Robe is also for Radiance. Alchemist for Raiment. Nah. Moving on to Sunbreakers, that is also for Sunsinger, don't need that. Claws of Ahamkara, we already have an additional melee charge granted to us due to Memory of Felwinter, of course, so that is not necessary. Nothing Manacles is for Voidwalker. Impossible Machines grants Landfall, that is for Stormcaller, but we don't have a Storm Trance, and we don't have, our super to activate Landfall, so no point of that. Ophidian Aspects is always a great option on the Warlock, so that, of course, is an option, and we have our boots. Transversive Steps, which can also work. So pretty much our options here are the Ram, Voidfang Vestments, Ophidian Aspects, and Transversive Steps. Alright, so what is most efficient to this build? Probably Voidfang Vestments. Every time you die and spawn, you will have 2 full grenades ready to go. So that's probably going to be the most efficient choice here. But obviously you could roll with whatever you're comfortable with. Now, let's get into the main question. Can Memory of Felwinter work on a Stormcaller Warlock? Is it worth not having your super? Well, let's talk PvE first, and I would just say, hell no, it is not worth using in PvE. Storm Trance is absolutely vital to your gameplay, no matter the activity. If it's a raid, you're going to want your Storm Trance. If it's a Nightfall, you're going to want your Storm Trance. Even if you're patrolling, it can work very, very well. It'll just clear a ton of ads in such a short amount of time, even if they're all spread out. Storm Trance is a very powerful super and should not be sacrificed for an extra melee and grenade charge, at least in PvE. So yeah, that's my take on that. I totally would not recommend Memory of Felwinter on a Stormcaller in PvE. Now, let's talk PvP. Can it work? Yeah, it can work. You can live without your super in PvP. I mean, Storm Trance is so damn deadly in PvP though. I probably once again wouldn't recommend it, but like I said, you can live without it. You can still get kills. Those grenades are very powerful in PvP. Your melees are very good. And having 2 charges of these can be very, very nice. In the gameplay, I am using Perpetual Charge, Pulse Wave, Amplitude, and Storm Grenade, as well as a Monte Carlo to go with the additional melee charging. When you shoot an enemy with Monte Carlo, you will charge your melee just a little bit quicker for every shot you hit, and when you kill an enemy with Monte Carlo, you do have a chance to automatically regen your melee. It just goes very well with this build. Of course, it is not 100% necessary though. I did find myself having a ton of grenade and melee charges throughout the matches because of Perpetual Charge, because of my Monte Carlo, because of my 100% discipline and strength. Pretty much for every encounter, I had an ability that was ready to go. And honestly, I actually had a lot of fun using Memory of Felwinter in the Crucible on the Stormcaller. Having those abilities constantly can be a very beautiful thing. Normally, when I use Stormcaller in the Crucible, I will run Transcendence, so I'm a bit more conservative with my melees and grenades when my super is almost fully charged. I just will hold on to them and not use them. So being able to spam these abilities felt very nice, to be honest, and it was a lot of fun, and it was certainly different. However, in my opinion, I still think Storm Trance is super important to a PvP match. It's definitely game changing and can make a difference, so I wouldn't always recommend it unless of course you didn't give a shit about Storm Trance. If you didn't give a shit about the super, by all means run Memory of Felwinter on the Stormcaller. It can work very well in that case. But yeah, to me, it felt like something was missing. Although I was having a bunch of fun spamming the abilities on the Stormcaller, I felt like something was missing, and that of course being Storm Trance. So, will I run Memory of Felwinter again in the Crucible on my Stormcaller? Maybe once in a while. If I feel like being a tad bit different, I will. But for the most part, no, I'm going to keep my Storm Trance. I absolutely love that super. Anyway, guys, go ahead, leave in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Memory of Felwinter on a Stormcaller subclass. Would this be something you'd be interested in? So we went over the Sunsinger, the Night Stalker, the Defender, and now the Stormcaller subclasses for Memory of Felwinter. We do have 5 more to go, so also leave in the comments. Let me know what subclass you would like to see next. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. So one more time, can Memory of Felwinter work on a Stormcaller Warlock in PvE? Hell no, it should not be used. In PvP, however, it can work, but of course that is really up to you. I still think Storm Trance is just way too good not to use. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video, and go ahead and leave us up if you haven't already, if you want to see some more Destiny content, because I will be bringing it to you guys on the daily. Anyway, I will see you next time.